This is a Cotton Region instrument shelter or Stevenson screen for meteorological instruments. So it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, and we can see that between 2 o'clock in the morning up to around 7:30, the temperature was 62 degrees. It had fallen from Tuesday afternoon, it was about 80 degrees. Now it's about 72 degrees, just at about 10 o'clock on Wednesday. The humidity was pretty low yesterday, around 40% yesterday afternoon. And at 6 o'clock this morning, it was raining, because I heard the rain. And now it's drying out again. So it's around 70% relative humidity, 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. It's very interesting how the humidity increased at midnight. Actually, we reached dew point because you can see the dew in the grass. Somewhat. It's hard to see it shining, but there is dew on the grass, so there was some condensation. So these instruments, this is a thermograph for measuring temperature versus time, and this is a hygrograph for measuring relative humidity versus time. There's a 1 week chart on there, and it's clock driven, no electronics, it's all mechanical. You can hear them ticking away, so you have to wind them every week and change the papers and replenish the ink. So yes, let's have a closer look at the temperatures. So 72 degrees approximately. This instrument is slow to respond because it has such thermal mass, so the thermometers will be more instantaneous. Now, let's have a look here. This is an alcohol minimum thermometer, and it's called a minimum thermometer because where's my pointer? Here we are. So currently the temperature here is 75 degrees. It's in the morning now, so it's going up quite quickly. That's the end of the alcohol column. But in the night, when the alcohol fell, by capillary action, it pulled this index down. So you can see the minimum temperature was 62. And that is corresponding with this 62 in this area here. You see? So it's working very well. That's what it shows, 62, 62 and a half. So that's very accurate, and that's the minimum temperature. And then, of course, when the temperature increases, the alcohol goes past the index. It doesn't touch it, and it just moves up to the current temperature. But if it goes down, it'll pull this index down with it. So this is called a minimum recording thermometer. And this is a National Weather Service, NWS. It's an official thermometer used by the United States government for official meteorological observations. So 75 degrees now. Now to reset this index, you tilt it down, and you'll see that the index moves down to the 7. And now when you put it back to the original position, the index now is at the current temperature, which is 75 degrees. So if the temperature goes any lower than this, it'll pull the index down again. Now let's look at the maximum thermometer. The maximum thermometer has a restriction right there in the glass column, and it pinches off the mercury. This is a mercury thermometer. So as this heats up, this will expand and push this column down. I think I just touched it, but this is the maximum temperature since the last time I reset it. It says 82, and that is the temperature yesterday afternoon, 82. So this is the maximum temperature, and the more this heats up, the more this column will push forwards, but it can't go back in because there is a gap right there. It's so small, the glass opening is so small, the mercury cannot come back. So it can only go out, and that's why it's the maximum temperature. So, and to correctly read it, we'll have to unlock this mount. Right there, there's a locking mechanism. And that allows this to rotate. So if you want to read the maximum temperature, it should really be read this way. It's about 81, and that is actually what that is. This is not as accurate, of course, but this is very accurate. So the maximum temperature was 81, and the minimum was 62, as we said already. Now to reset this to the current temperature, we have to twirl it by gravity. That will force the mercury through the restriction back down again. Let's do one more time. And now what does it read? 77. Let's try a little bit more. It's about 77 degrees. That's the current temperature, and that's what this now shows. See, it's already going up 76. So within 1 degree, they're the same. The temperature is heating up very quickly for this morning. It's already 10 o'clock after 10. So let me reset this back in its normal position. And now it's ready to record maximums again. So this is a maximum reading thermometer. The end of that column always shows the maximum temperature before resetting it. And the alcohol thermometer shows the index marker shows the minimum temperature, and the end of the alcohol is the current temperature. This is a regular thermometer. It just shows the current temperature. There's nothing special about this one. 77 degrees. 5, 6, 7, 77. Now this is a cheaper instrument, but it's nice to have as a backup. It shows the minimum on the left side was 62, which is what we observed, and the maximum since yesterday afternoon was around 81, 82, 81. So yeah, this is not an accurate instrument, but it's a nice thing to have as a backup. Now to reset these markers, these are set by friction, so to reset them we need a magnet to pull it down. And now this thermometer is ready to record again, maximum and minimum. And the current temperature is 78 degrees. It's heating up out here. Yep, 78. It's getting warmer. It's getting warmer. This is slow to respond because of the thermal mass. So there's a delay on this one. And this is the humidity, 66% relative humidity. And that's another backup thermometer. That's the cheapest of them all. Again, it shows 77 degrees, which is the current temperature. 78. Now this is an interesting instrument. It uses a wet and dry bulb thermometer. This is another humidity measuring instrument. So for this one to work properly, we have to evaporate water on the right-hand thermometer. They're identical thermometers, but one is wrapped in a cloth in a bath of water. So if you fan it, you'll evaporate faster and this one will go down a little bit. It's just to get the most accurate number. And then we're going to measure the difference between the two thermometers. Okay, that should be it. So the maximum thermometer shows 76. 72, 70, yeah, 76. And the minimum thermometer shows 68. So that's what, 8 degrees? 8 degrees difference? No, 76 plus 8. No. 76 and 66 would be 10. So 76. Yeah, it's about. I gotta fan it again. It's gone up. It's too early in the morning to do math skills. I think it's 8 degrees difference. 76 and 68. It's 8 degrees. So we set this to 8. And the red number there, 8. And the current temperature is 76. So look at 76, says 66% humidity. 76 degrees, so it's 66% relative humidity. So it seems to correlate very well with this instrument. So yeah, that's the humidity, 66% relative humidity and 70, well, the accurate one, 77 degrees, 77 degrees right now, Fahrenheit. So there you have it. There's a little tour of a professional meteorological recording station. I should ideally write down these numbers and the time I've recorded them, and one should do this observation twice a day at the same time each day to get a proper recording of history. If you want climate data for the year, that's how you would do it every day. Thank you for watching.